And I know it is customary to start with the positive.
Right.
Start with the winner. I'm not going to do that. I want to know this man's thoughts. We've had a lot of back and forth, haven't we, so far this season? I'm a City fan. I'm happy about what happened yesterday, even if it means that my mortal enemy won. Laurie, how are you feeling?
Like I said, I've had better weekends. But as I said to my guys on the show, last time I checked, we're still top of the table. So no need to panic. You know what I mean? It wasn't a very good day at the office. Got to congratulate Man United. They were really good and they took their goals well. But with us, I've got to admit, man, there are some concerns creeping in, mainly concerning our front line, which is misfiring at the moment. So we got to address that. In all seriousness, we have to address that. We're not.
What's the issue?
Scoring goals, bro. You know what I mean? Something that you guys seem to be struggling with as well. A lot of teams are, even City as well. Dare I say, even the great Erling is not finding the back of the net with much regularity at the moment. So it's contagious. It would be. It's catchy.
Yeah, but it's running pretty bad for you lot. You know, I've got a few numbers, right? Shout out producer Josh, right? Shout out producer Josh. Top goal scorers for Arsenal this season: Gyökeres 5, right. Trossard 5, own goals 4, Mikel Merino 4, Declan Rice 4, Saka Saka 4. So not one player above 5 goals there. Gyökeres £65 million in the summer. We had this debate when it happened, when Sesko came to United, and I said to Robbie, I sat right there and I said to Robbie that you signed the wrong one, and you should have gone.
Your argument falls down.
Why?
Because if you're suggesting that if we had Sesko, that would have been the answer, then he's got less goals.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
He's not much better.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
He's not much better.
He would have been better than Gyökeres.
Listen, you should not be mentioning Sesko. This man came on yesterday, and the sum total of this man's contribution was...
He got smacked in the face. Hold on. I'm not having that.
That was some serious deflection from Laurie.
Yeah, it was.
Come on,
I'll throw some more. I'll throw some more numbers at you.
Yeah,
I'll let you just respond to these, right? Bukayo Saka, 0 goals in the last 18 appearances, all comps.
I asked him about Saka last week at the Airdrie.
Yeah. Arsenal fans don't like hearing it. They don't like hearing it. But I'll let you respond, right? Gyökeres, 0 non-penalty goals in last 11 appearances.
Wow.
Martinelli, 0 goals in last 13 appearances. Wow. Madueke, 0 goals in last 25 Premier League appearances.
Even though I've only played 23 Premier League games, but anyway.
But if you count the two, it's still 0. Trossard, 1 goal in the last 11 appearances. Now, without trying to roast you, although I do want to roast you, but just to get some serious, actual analysis around that, your front three are just not firing.
Yeah, listen, no, you're not wrong. In fact, I did a show on my channel. Check it out, LL Sports TV, and we spoke about the same thing. It is, without a doubt, it's a concern, man. I guess you'd have to say it's down to the way we're playing football at the moment. Everybody knows the trick with Arsenal. I've said it many times before, we're not enthralling to watch, but we're efficient. The manager likes to play controlled possession type football. We don't take enough risks. We're risk averse. We don't take enough shots. There's a stat in terms of open play. I think we're 17th in the league in terms of creating goals from open play. It's something we got to address, man, because you can't tell me, you read out the stats yourself, all those players can just go off form all at once. It has to be something else. And I think it's down to our approach, and we need to start being a little bit more creative, a little bit more adventurous, and a little bit more risque.
Laurie,
you know what I mean?
Too much corners traded. You lot are doing too many corners at trade.
Bro, I've said it before. We go side to side, back and forth, and we're not direct enough.
It got to the point when you're just hoping for corners. It got to the point where Madueke was just running, hoping for a corner. And how do you guys score your last goal by a corner? Yep. After that, there's no threat. Even after the equaliser, there was no threat.
The thing is there not a genuine concern? Like, take this year out of the equation, right? You might win the league, you might not win the league.
No, we win the league.
Is there not a concern that going forward, teams will have longer to be able to develop their defence against your corners, and then you have basically nothing? You're going to have to retrain the whole squad to play a completely different style of football. Because realistically, I know ifs, buts and maybes, but if your set pieces haven't worked this season, you're not even in the top 10, right? So at some point, teams are going to wise up. They're going to learn how to defend against those really, really difficult balls into the box. And then what do you...
Well, you could argue that's already arrived. Because even, I mean, okay, you take yesterday's game as an example, right? So, and I'm pretty sure Nick will agree with this. For the first 20, 25 minutes, maybe even half an hour, Arsenal were clearly the better side.
Until you scored.
Right, yeah, exactly. So we had a lot of possession. Didn't create enough chances when you consider the amount of possession we had. But it's a bit samey. It's side to side. It's quite predictable. And unlike other teams, Aston Villa, for example, who have the record for scoring the most goals from outside the box, we just don't shoot enough. And when you're not doing stuff like that, then you're narrowing down the type of opportunities you can get. And if you're like Man United and they have a mid-block or other teams have a low block, you know what I mean, it makes it harder for you. They'll say, all right, have the ball, try and break us down. And certainly in the Premier League, because if you look at our stats in the Champions League and the Cups, we do score goals. But when it comes to the Premier League and the way teams set up against us, we're struggling.
I think there's a lot of chat right about Gyökeres, and I think I asked you a couple of weeks ago, and you were like, you've been disappointed by him. There's no point in pretending any Arsenal fan wouldn't have been disappointed by the guy. There is a point though where we are going to have an uncomfortable conversation about Bukayo Saka. He's always made to seem like the star boy. He's always made to believe he's the star boy of England. He's the star boy of Arsenal. His numbers are terrible. For a bloke who plays that often for a team who are at the top of the Premier League, his numbers are really, really poor. Part of you has to agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers have been disappointing this season, but listen, again, would you not say that Saka was our best player yesterday?
He was your best threat, and to be fair, he gave Luke Shaw a lot of trouble in moments. But so he's one, in terms of the numbers, he's one that I look at. But in terms of creative output, I also look towards Martin Odegaard quite a bit there, because I just think, I mean, captain of the club for once, but also for starters, but also you are supposed to be the creative outlet in that midfield. You got the technical ability to do it, and I don't know how much of this is instruction from Arteta, but there's just some times where you just need to just play the forward pass.
This is what I'm saying. At the moment, we're risk averse.
Too much.
If you watch Arsenal, you will see the manager running up and down outside of his technical area, literally directing the play as it goes. And I think that's kind of stymied some of our creativity. And listen, I'm not trying to blame Arteta per se, because, you know, at the end of the day, man, there are some very good players in that team. We have done well. But I'm saying, you know, I mean, we're playing teams now that have worked out how to shut us down, and it's working more often than not in the last few games. The Liverpool game, atrocious game, 0-0. The Forest game, 0-0. Then we go and lose to United. The Premier League form needs to level up. It just has to.
But you're still very confident you'll win the league.
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
Yeah. Because I think we're the best team in the league.
So you think it's to do with the other teams not being as good around you?
Yeah, exactly. We've got the best squad, and we got the best defence, best goalkeeper, one of the best midfields.
Best keeper?
You don't have the best keeper.
On current form.
You don't have the best keeper.
His
arguably.
positioning.
You have the best defence.
His positioning for Cunha's goal is very suspect for me. But yeah,
can't blame him for conceding that.
No,
come on, that's hard.
No. Cunha's finish is brilliant.
Even my man's goalkeeper, Donnarumma, with that wingspan would have struggled to stop it.
I know, it was. But
the disappointing thing about that was not Raya. It was the fact that Cunha, who we know is capable of that sort of thing, that was just so... That was so negligent from Arsenal. Yeah, for a guy like that.
He's been doing that at Wolves.
Shall I tell you something, right? And this is the truth. We were doing a watch-along at the Hippodrome yesterday for AFTV. And as soon as Cunha came on, I said to Kenny, who sat to my right, I goes, I'm really worried about this, because I know what the plan is for Cunha to come on and do. I've seen him do it for Wolves against Arsenal at the Emirates. It's a very similar goal. As soon as he picks up that goal, rather than them close him down, they stood off him and let him run. You let a guy like that get a shot off. Well, because he did run by six.
I told you.
Had nothing to do with that.
No. Jokes aside, though, like
Sesko had nothing to do with that. Trust me.
Arsenal are very lucky that there's not another good, like really good, consistent side right now, because
if we were better, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, there comes a point. There comes a point where Haram Ball is not enough. I saw one image, and you know what? I'm not one to attack Arsenal so much because the whole set piece thing. Because if you can score goals from it, fair enough. But the Merino change for Odegaard, that kind of showed me where Arteta's head was at.
No, that makes sense though, because Eze was coming on as well. So Eze was coming on as well, so which makes
So
sense.
who did Eze come on for?
He came on probably for Trossard.
I think that's a little bit uncharitable.
No, I know. But
Shall I tell you why that's a little bit uncharitable, Nick?
Why?
Because if you look at Mourinho's record, he's got a very good record of scoring goals.
And
in
he
the
got
Premier
the
Yes,
second
but
goal.
But I know what you mean, though.
Like-
It's not bringing on like an exciting
No, because-
winger or an exciting
What-
playmaker. It's bringing on a guy who can
They
head a
did though.
ball.
They brought Madueke, Eze, and
Yeah.
Mourinho.
But it worked, though. It did work. Mourinho did
that's
score,
the,
like, what, 10
But
minutes
talking
after
about
he came
Eze,
out.
what do you think about Eze now? Ever
Let,
since the
let
Tottenham
him
game?
get his question off first. Go on.
No question necessarily, but in what I mean by that is that shows you where Arteta's head is at in terms of when backs were against the wall and you need a goal, you are more reliant on putting big men into the box than you were on a Martin Odegaard pulling the strings, finding a better space, and someone takes a shot.
But
That's where it's at, 'cause
that
that's-
speaks to the way Arteta does. Listen, Arteta is a very, how can I put it? He's a very, he's a stickler to detail. He's got a game plan, and he's got total conviction on what he does. He's not gonna vary. He's risk averse, and so when he makes those type of substitutions, you know that's what he's gonna do. A lot of managers are like that. They have a certain plan and they follow it. And don't get me wrong, it's worked for the vast majority of the season. So you could argue, why would he change? But that's what he does, man. I mean, in that game yesterday, it's funny. If you see Arteta make 4 substitutions in one go, that tells you that things are not going that way. He was desperate to try and find something, but it just didn't work yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
He
that.
had too many players off form.
Yeah, it didn't change.
Leeds away next.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a massive game. Probably our biggest game of the season so far, because the momentum needs to change. You know what I mean? We've not won, like I said, 2 dismal draws against Liverpool and Forest respectively, a humbling defeat at home against United. Our lead has been cut to 4 points, so we simply have to go away and beat Leeds, and that's not going to be easy, because Leeds, on their day at home, you know what I mean, the ground's a cauldron, they're fighting for their lives. That's going to be a difficult game.